Porsche is so much more than a sports car company. In the early 2000s, it kicked off the SUV craze with the Cayenne, a car widely considered as the product that saved the company from financial trouble, and now it hopes to become a leader in the electric car world with its four-door Taycan. The Taycan is Porsche's first all-electric model and is one of the first mass-produced EVs to come from the Volkswagen Group. And like we see with pretty much every car developed under the VAG banner today, it'll spawn other four-door performance EVs such as the upcoming Audi e-Tron GT. With the e-Tron GT back in the limelight, hey, why not check out our video by clicking on the link in the top right-hand corner? We thought now would be a great time to check in on the car that started VAG's electric charge. So here are 5 things you need to know about the Porsche Taycan. When the Taycan was first announced, many thought it was simply just an electric version of the Panamera, given that it's a 4-door coupe. But in reality, the Taycan is quite a bit smaller than the Panamera. It's just over 80mm shorter, and its wheelbase is 50mm shy of the Panamera. But that's not the only difference. The Taycan looks more purposeful, with pronounced wheel arches and a low roofline, making it look more like a 4-door sports car than a coupe-like saloon. That's because the lack of a combustion engine has allowed Porsche's engineers to sculpt an ultra-low nose, while the batteries are stored beneath the cabin for a lower centre of gravity. At 2,380 kilograms, it's a bit on the heavy side. Put that into context, the Taycan is about as heavy as a Bentley Continental GT, but on the bright side, most of that weight is kept nice and low. You can destroy pretty much anything on 4 wheels at a drag strip all day long in a Taycan, but Porsche's EV is also incredibly fast when you're parked up. That's because the Taycan's 800-volt electrical architecture supports up to 270 kilowatt charging, meaning you'll be able to go from 10% to 80% charge in around 20 minutes. A quick word of warning though, you'll need to opt for Porsche's Performance Battery Plus if you want to make use of fast charging. It comes as standard on the Taycan Turbo and Turbo S, but you'll need to fork out an extra £4,613 if you opt for the 4S. Otherwise, the charging rate will be capped at 225 kilowatts. The good news is the option increases the battery size from 79.2 kilowatt hours to 93.4, meaning range jumps from 252 miles to 287 on the 4S. Electric cars are pretty damn quick. Just look at Tesla's ludicrous mode, which in the Taycan rivaling Model S performance will send you from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.3 seconds. There's an even faster version on the horizon too called the Plaid, which Tesla claims will lower that figure down to just 2 seconds. The only issue is that there's a chance you could increase the wear on your battery and motors if you constantly use ludicrous mode. Think of it more as a once-in-a-blue-moon treat. That's not the case with the Taycan though. While it's 0 to 62 mph, notice the 2, time of 2.8 seconds in the Turbo S doesn't match the Model S performance, you'll be able to keep pumping in sub 3 seconds 0 to 62 times all day without risking the integrity of the powertrain. Of course, repeatedly using launch control and gunning it away from a set of traffic lights will chug battery power. Why was the Cayenne considered Porsche's saviour? Well, it was far more practical than the 911 and Boxster, and came with a badge that was synonymous with luxury and performance, so it sold in huge numbers. And now we're starting to see a similar trend with the Taycan. While the Taycan has yet to outperform the mighty Cayenne on sales, it's starting to take big chunks out of its SUV sibling. In August, some 1,194 examples of the Taycan left Porsche showrooms in Europe, only 139 units shy of the Cayenne. What's more, between July and September, the Taycan was the 3rd best-selling Porsche in the US, behind the Cayenne and Macan. There's still some way to go for the Taycan, but there's no denying it's off to a flying start. If you were to step into a Porsche showroom today and ask for a Taycan, you'd have 3 different variants to choose from. The cheapest is the 4S at £83,580, which comes with a 79.2 kWh battery pack and has a WLTP rated range of 252 miles as standard. Above that is the 115,860 Taycan Turbo, which ups the battery size to 93.4 kilowatt hours, but range falls to 279 miles. That's because the Turbo is faster, pumping out 671 bhp to the 4S's 522. At the top of the lineup is the Turbo S at 138,830 pounds. Range falls once again to 258 miles, but you get 751 brake horsepower to play with and a 0 to 62 time of 2.8 seconds. There is a fourth rear-wheel drive only model simply known as the Taycan, but at the moment that's only available in China. You can find out more about the Porsche Taycan and stay up to date with all the latest car news by heading over to yesauto.com.